Hey guys, what's going on? So today is the last video on the 1996 Buick Regal. We're going to be going over more things I found about this car that are broken, and basically some of the parts I kept and why I kept them. And basically all the parts that I kept, I guess it can be summed up in one word. I have a twin brother to this car that I drive on the road every day in the winter. It's a winter rat, and eventually will become a derby car. So that is basically the reason why I've kept a lot of the parts off of this thing. There's still a few more things I do need to grab, but this thing is probably going to scrap either later today or tomorrow morning, so I wanted to get this video out of the way. That way you guys aren't looking at it with a stuffed interior, but we're going to be looking at some more of the damage and talking a little bit more about what happened in the Derby and now why that stuff makes sense. So, first thing I noticed when I took the radiator and stuff like that out, because I wanted to get to the starter and stuff on the front of the engine, is I really did hurt the oil pan on this car. So, with the power steering lines, funny enough, that's probably why I was losing power steering. Was because that was probably pinching those lines shut as it was smashing into them. The engine itself, nothing really broke on the engine itself except for the throttle. Actually we still had the belt and everything on this engine, which is surprising, but at the same time, I got a lot of the parts off of that thing. Needed the crank sensor for another car I got. I think I talked about that in the aftermath video down there, so we got that off of there. I kept the harmonic balancer, and they're only a 1 year, I believe only 1 year only harmonic balancer, so you want to hold on to them when you get them, because they're also expensive because of it. The alternator, same way, very hard alternator to get because of I think it's just the way it mounts. Yeah, don't want to mess with having to get one of them. So everything else though is pretty much still there. I took the wiring harness as well. I did cut some wires, but for the most part the wiring harness is intact. I took the spark plugs because actually the spark plugs were like brand new in this thing. But if you guys remember in the GoPro footage or the stands footage, when this thing blew in a bunch of smoke, we did end up looping this engine going into the feature, and well, I thought the loop kit went, but when I took this all apart, actually the loop kit was in fine condition. It wasn't hurt at all. What actually happened, and somebody warned me or asked me if I had changed it before, and I didn't even think of changing it, is the plastic coolant elbow on these 3800s. Well, I'm here to say that that's what blew apart, not the loop kit. I probably should have changed that out. I just didn't even think about the plastic elbow. And I'm going to verify that my Buick, my other Buick Regal, has that upgrade already done. I believe the answer is yes, but if not, we're going to be putting an aluminum elbow on that, if we end up running that engine in the first place, because of the said basically inevitable failure of this engine because of the ABS unit, or brake master I should say. The ABS unit's fine, but it's really just that right there, just that collision course. So I don't know, that's going to be the biggest question mark with the next Regal. Do we keep the 3800 in it because of that throttle setup? And I was also very close to losing, regardless of everything else, because look at that, if you guys can see it right there, if my camera would focus, I'm sure you can still see it. My shifting cable, I bumped into it with my hand and it just popped right off. So also gonna have to check that on my Regal, make sure it's not ready to just pop off like that. I thought that was kind of interesting. I was like, holy cow. I said that was that close to coming off, and regardless, ruining my night anyway. But that's all good. It didn't come off, so we were able to get this car driven up to the trailer basically, and then she just was so hot she wouldn't fire back up. That's another thing, I think I even mentioned that in the aftermath video. Not exactly happy about how this thing did with heat. I thought the 3.1 multi-port was way better on heat, which is interesting because I've always heard good things about the 3800 doing good with heat. This one did not like heat. In the back here, you guys could see she's pretty smushed in. Got the cage out, obviously. Battery box, everything's taken out. And not much else to report here. Underneath, I don't think I showed this before. But yeah, she's really, really, really bad. You guys can imagine so. But this is definitely the quickest I ever had a Regal come in like this. On both sides, nearly equally. Very disappointed with this car in the back end. Very disappointed. Thought it should have been a lot tougher. Because I've ran rustier Regals, and they definitely seem tougher than this. And on top of that, I ran clean Regals, and it was way tougher than this. My purple Regal that I ran last year at the same event, that car was way tougher. It took harder shots in the back end from PT Cruisers, from frickin' Camrys, just absolutely. And that was only really focusing on that corner right there. And it still held up better than this. So anybody who says, oh, rust didn't really have a factor in that, well, I call BS, because that definitely was rust factor. I told you guys this was a pretty crusty car. I didn't realize it would do that, though. So I don't know. I can complain all I want. I'm the one who ran the rusty car. But it was also a rather high dollar show, so a lot of people brought clean cars. I didn't, so I guess I got what I deserved, huh, as far as that goes. But at the end of the day, the Buick Regal did pretty good. The frame rails in the front, now that I've gotten to look at them pretty good, are pretty not so bad compared to what I thought they would be after. I didn't really look at them, to be honest with you, until yesterday or the day before that. I really didn't look at them, and honestly, I'm really impressed with this frame rail right here. The subframe's not bent. The frame rail is still relatively straight and actually starting to kick up and over here. And this side's starting to kick over, but wasn't kicking back. It was interesting. I think it's mostly because of that bumper being the way it was, but it would have fought for quite some time more. I don't think frame rail issues would have been what took me out of the Derby. It would have been probably just this motor overheating if the throttle cable had not hit. So, alright guys, I guess that pretty much sums it up for the Regal. There's not much else to really mention that I can think of off the top of my head. So, alright guys, stay tuned for more videos. The videos are going to start to slow down because I don't have any more Derby cars at the moment. And, well, we'll have to see what I can come up with. So, stay tuned, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all the support. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody.